Greetings everyone and welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve. We're currently in the basement portion of my arcade where we're currently housing both arcade and pinball machines. And while we continue on the retro box, the arcades have been worked on and they're almost done. But I want to jump to restoring the pinball machines that have been a bit neglected, even though since we moved them from, of course, when we moved to the apartment, now to the basement. Now they are working, but I do want to restore them. And we're going to be starting off with the Atlantis EM. Now I put all the parts to all the games. Mary, if you can just pan to the bottom of the games here, just to line up and organize all of the parts and whatnot that I have for each game. And I'm going to be starting and going from left to right. And in the other room, we have Hobbit and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles LE by Stern. But the main focus now is Atlantis EM. So what I wanted to do is replace all the drop targets here. I have brand new ones. And I also have brand new pop bumpers with the 100 and 100 points. Plus, I want to remove all the plastics, strip down all of the top of the playfield, and re-rubber it and clean it and wax it up and get it all beautiful again. And of course, switch them to LEDs. I'm going for the retro bulb. I got them from Eddie, good buddy, great product and a great price, pinballleds.ca. The link is in the bottom in the description. So I'm going to be moving Atlantis right here. So I'm going to be moving all my parts and all my workstation here on the candy counter, removing everything from it so I can get easy access, so I can restore and go back and forth and keep organized. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with now, pulling out Atlantis and starting the restore. So I've moved Atlantis into position and now to be worked on. It's left the vacant slot in the lineup, which eventually I'm going to move down these games, one, so I can work on them one by one. And number two, the main reason why I started working on Atlantis first is because I'm going to be placing it there. It turned out when I was doing my game room, I miscalculated and there's actually room for another pin. So that's great news. So I've just lifted the playfield, opened the coin door, and put down the back portion of the head here. And I'm going to be getting to the glass. I want to remove it, remove those brackets. Again, I don't want it to be affected. It's in great shape. I'm going to be unpopulating the playfield in just a moment. And eventually what we're going to be doing is, the big thing is removing and replacing these drop targets that have been worn, and also removing the pop bumpers. I've laid out all of the schematics just in case from the original manual. Here is the inside of the cabinet. It's pretty clean. I mean, it does need a nice wipe down there. And we'll get to that later. First, let's do this. For that, let me just show you what the game looks like as is turned on prior to us restoring it. So here's Atlantis all powered on with the incandescent lights in the current shape before we restore it. It looks great, but I can't wait to do this. It's going to look even better with new lighting, nice clean playfield, and a functional game. So I removed the back glass for safekeeping, just to show you how I've done it really quick. Very simply, instead of removing the entire bracket, I just removed the first screw, twisted them so you can pull the back glass out. Put this back for now. And what I'm thinking also is, I'm going to remove the head. It's going to be out of the way. I'm going to have it down to clean it anyways. And also when I start to clean under the cabinet, it's not obstructing. So I've now removed the head, as you can see, also, and of course the back glass, which looks great. On to the next thing. I'm going to put you up here in montage mode. I'm going to point it down, disassemble as much as I can on the top of the playfield, and here we go. I removed most of the playfield items. There's still the flippers left. I have to get them underneath. I'm going to leave this metal assembly on here with the trough because it was under the apron and it's very clean. I'll just polish it and clean it later. And the pop bumpers, I've unscrewed the screws, but they're still tied in from underneath. So I'm going to remove the actual playfield itself so I can get under it, so we can remove those items and then also get to the drop target assembly and work on that. So I've removed the playfield from the cabinet itself, and there's all the parts and the tools, and I've moved the playfield now onto the candy counter, and I've placed them on just rolls of toilet paper. I know it sounds a bit silly and looks a bit weird, but it works. It's safe. It's not harming the playfield in any way, and this little hook goes right into the hole of the toilet paper, and there's a fifth one here just to hold it, and there's enough clearance to have the pop bumpers drop, which I'm going to work on to remove. And then I'm going to be working on the drop target assembly, which I've heard is a bit difficult, but let's do it. So in order to replace this, I'm doing it for the first time on a Gottlieb EM. I've unscrewed this bracket that holds the coil, and it turns out I'm going to have to desolder for the lamp right there and there. So that's my next step, and then this should just come all the way down. We replace it, and we're off to replacing both of the pop bumpers. We'll do that one next. Okay, so I have removed the pop bumpers. They actually came out very easily. You just desolder, that's to the lamp post. You desolder the one lead, and then this one on the ground, and then you do the other one the same, the lead and the ground, and it came out very easily. And I'm going to replace these generic ones with the original ones on the machine with the 100 points. So I've replaced the plastics and the body of the pop bumpers. They look great, back to the original coloring. Pretty straightforward. You just follow the parts in sequence. This part is a clip. It comes off and there's a spring in it. And this is the result. Later when we button up the machine, the cap will go on it. It'll look like that. Next is the drop target assembly. So right here, this I'm going to do a bit of research before I tackle it. Apparently it's a bit tedious, but I'm going to see what the best way is. Of course, these are very dirty. These are brand new, and we're going to be swapping them out. Okay, so now we're on to tackling the drop target assembly. And what I've done is I removed a few of the brackets. And just to kind of flip it over to get easier access, I'm going to be opening this plate, if I can, to get inside, to get to the springs, which are holding it. I removed one already, and just to kind of see how it worked with the arm. Should be, you know, the more I look at it, the more it should be okay as long as I organize it. So I've removed 3 of the drop targets and their springs. And I have to admit, there's no kind of easy way to do this. And I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but they're at least coming out. And I'm starting to understand how the mechanism works. So I'm going to try to do one on camera. And I know there's probably some EM professionals that are pulling their hair out saying, Steve, what the hell are you doing? But the truth is, it's working, and that's the end of it. So right here, as you can see, camera getting that? Right there, there's the spring. It's on the arm. I removed the spring. See, spring removed. And then what I do is I push the arm all the way up. That's or all the way down. So there's the arm that's holding it. And then I push it all the way up. It releases it. I've released it. And I push the spring through the hole with it. Again, it's probably not the best way, but it comes out like that. Snug in there, eh? And then I'll take, I got this on my soldering kit, and I just take this little tip, and then I take out the spring. So it turns out I did things a bit backwards, but nothing crazy. So I had all the new drop targets with the springs already in them, but that's wrong because then they won't fit through. Yeah, so I can see why this is a pain in the butt. So you have to put the drop target through. There's the spring goes. The arm goes here, and then the spring has to be attached there. So spring there, spring, this one will go to the drop target here. the arm goes in that little slit, and then this will go up and down. So definitely this is tedious, what everyone's been telling me. I did more research online, and I think I actually opened it up upside down, that I should have taken this plate off, not the under part. So what I've decided to do is attach, here, I'm going to do this for you guys so you can see it. You can't have the spring first. You have to put it through here and then face down. And then you kind of lift this, and then now there's tension from those springs, you can see. And then see this hand? And this is if you guys do it the wrong way. I think I've done it the wrong way, but anyways, it's working so far. And then you would open it, just be careful there, open it, and put the arm through. So there's a slit within the drop target. You put the arm through, and then this eventually, again, would go here once it's moved. And what you would do now is, if you see, let me get you close. You see that? What you would do is, again, I have these little tweezer gimmicks that I got with my soldering kit. So you would get the spring under the hook there, the little arm. I'll show you when it's coming closer. And then move this here. And then here, there is, this is where you're going to be. There's a snag right there. And then you would find the clip underneath. And you can lift it here. Again, there's tension. There. So you would get it, you get the spring, you put it there, and then you would feed. You can move this around because it's not there. You feed it through there. So all the springs now are on. And then what I'll do, just see if you can see this here. All right. So now that I got all the springs on, what you do is you align it. Now this is in theory, because I'm going to explain what I'm going to have to do after. Is now you just take all the drop targets and put them through their holes here. And then see this bracket, you line it up, and then that's going to snap in like that. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to get a screw here just to hold one thing together. Okay, so it's been a few hours. It's not easy, but we're getting there. So even though I might have done it upside down, it still works, which is good. So if you ever run into that issue, it can be salvaged. So here is the current state. I have one left, but I bent the spring. So I'm bending it back now because this little portion has to go on the hook, which I'll show you. And then that would go on the mech. So that part that's bent would go here. And then if you can see, let's see if I can get in there with my light. Aha! You see right there that little hook? Like down there? That would go here. And then, but it's working. So look, I've done all of them. All the way. And the only one now needing to be done is this. So I'm going to bend it back, then we'll put it into place, and this will be done, I hope. So I think we've done it. Took another half hour, but I finally got it, bending that spring, making sure it didn't warp too badly. But I'll show you guys. So all the targets are down. Nope. Beautiful. So I think we're ready to screw it back. It's very tight. Like if you're off just the slightest, the drop target won't go through the hole, obviously. So you have to align it perfectly. So I'm going to button this up, make sure it works. Then when I come back, I'm going to put back the two pop bumpers there and there. Okay, so I have put now the pop bumpers back and assembled them. I ended up soldering the two leads as well per pop bumper, put back the mounting bracket, but just double checking now the targets. They're working, great news. Next, I'm going to be replacing the incandescent bulbs while I'm under here. It's going to be with Eddie's warm white. This is pinballleds.ca. You look at the description. That's Eddie's website. Great product. I want the retro feel, so that's why I got this. So I've replaced all of the incandescent bulbs under the playfield. They're looking great, and they fit perfectly. And then I'm going to also now do it on the head and the back box here. I'm going to be replacing all of the incandescents to the LEDs. So I've just replaced all the incandescent bulbs in the back box or the head of the game. They fit perfectly, which is great. Can't wait to see what they look like. And then what I'm thinking of doing also is there's two lights here. I'm going to see if I can get behind and replace these as well. So I've just removed the face plate, and now I've replaced the incandescent with LED bulbs. There's the face plate right there. It actually came out pretty easily. There's two screws, one there and one there. Came off easy. I'm going to be cleaning in and out of it, which is going to conclude this part one of this video. And I'm going to be back in the next video, and I'm going to be cleaning inside of all the cabinet, polishing all the chrome pieces. Here are some of my cleaning supplies. I have more. So I'm going to be cleaning in and out of the cabinet, and then later on I'll put the playfield back in, and then ready for reassembly of the top of the playfield. I wish you all the very best, and I do thank you for checking out Top Tier. Like, subscribe, comment, or questions. I'm more than happy to answer. Thanks for checking out Top Tier. Peace.